Hey everybody, Brian Tro coming to you from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing with your fly fishing forecast. The date for today is Monday the 10th of November. I want to thank everybody for coming out this past weekend for our open house. Awesome day, great crowd. Hope you all enjoyed the food and camaraderie. Special thanks to George Daniels. He was awesome as usual. Just brought us a lot of great information and some good times. And congratulations to all the raffle winners. There's some very happy people this morning getting free rods and reels, etc. So we just want to thank all of you all who have been shopping with us and coming by the shop or shopping with us online for all these years. Myself, my brother, and the guys at the store and the whole guide crew really appreciate you all. So thank you all very much for that. Last week, they weren't really calling for it, but on Friday, ended up with over an inch of rain on Friday evening. So they were calling for showers, and we got a nice, good soaker. So that's 1 to 2 inches, 1 inch last week, inch and a half the week for that, 2 inches the week for that. It's not tons, but it's definitely helping, all right? So helping the creeks out a little bit, helping the flow, little by little. This time of year, a little bit more goes into the system. You don't have like all the trees aren't leaved out anymore. They're not sapping up water. It's like having billions of straws in the water table when the trees are all leafed out. No one's pumping, no one's irrigating for agriculture around here this time of year. The days are definitely shorter, so there's just less evaporation. That means more water getting into the ground and into the creeks. So any rain is a welcome rain right now. All right, so while we're on the weather, not too much rain in the forecast, but cold, very, very cold. It looks like tonight it's going to be 20 with wind blowing 20-some plus miles an hour. So those are like late December, early January wind chills. So bundle up out there. It's going to be chilly. The wind is back, at least for now, today and tomorrow. We've been fighting it quite a bit this fall. Had a beautiful day, no wind on Saturday at the open house. But we're back to wind, so try and hide from it. Places like Mossy Creek are a little bit tough because they are way out in the pastures and open fields, and it can kind of beat you up a little bit. But yeah, you got to find places. There's little hideaways on that stream as well where you get some shelter. So anyway, that's going to be the name of the game for the next few days. It's going to be pretty cold, well below average, pretty chilly. Fishing cold front days, it's not easy for the cast, and not easy because it can really suppress the bite. All right, so slow everything down, fish on the bottom, make those fish an offer they can't refuse by swimming the fly straight to their mouth. All right, all you're asking them to do is open and close. Those are things that you really got to do when the bite gets like this, okay? As far as the different types of fishing goes, we're kind of still in the same boat with the musky. The musky fishing is pretty good. They're eating, but the water's still a little bit clear, so they're a little bit spooky as well. Just keep chipping away on those fish. Water temps this time of year are pretty normal for what they're used to, and they'll continue to eat. It just could use a little color to the water to keep some of those fish from getting put off by your boat or by your rod in the water when you're figurating. So anyway, keep chipping away at the musky. You definitely can catch them. We've had good reports. A couple of our guides have been out, had good follows, had good eats. So that's something, if you want to stay in touch with the bigger rivers in the state this time of year, that's a great way to do it. And you never know. You might end up catching a 4 or 5 pound smallmouth or a 7 or 8 pound largemouth, especially on the Shenandoah. They eat those big flies too. So, and they live in close proximity. The winter lies for the bass are also where the muskie are packed in, because that's where a lot of their forage food is. That's where the chubs and the fall fish and the suckers are all hanging out, all in the same place, okay? And big old bass are looking to do the same thing that a muskie's doing, which is eat one big meal, one big score, and then maybe rest and relax for a day or two before they have to, go out and find another big one. So keep chipping away at that. We can help you out. We got some great new musky flies in that are affordable here. So we've added to our musky fly selection for those of you who want a musky fish or do musky fish, but you don't tie. We've got some affordable, good quality musky flies that just came in. Speaking of flies that just came in, we have reloaded everything in here prior to our open house. Brand new flies that we've never had before, brand new pricing. So in a world where everything's becoming more expensive, we're able to find some great deals and keep fly prices down, either at the same level or even some of them less. For example, Slump Buster, which was everybody's favorite fly in this shop for years, just got so pricey, priced itself out. We have them back at a great price. So anyway, check that out when you get a second. All right, back to the conditions. Brook trout, we're still paused, gonna be paused for a long time, okay? Good and glad to have some more water get into the system up there, up in the mountain streams for their spawn and their ability to move about. But we're kind of holding off on brook trout fishing, okay? A couple extra updates on the managed water. The Hidden Valley stretch of the Jackson got stocked again. So for some of you who are looking for a weekend getaway, like, hey, I want to go fishing this weekend, what's a good bet? Well, here's what we've been focusing on, and we're going to keep focusing on places that have a little more water. So the Jackson at Hidden Valley is a little bit larger trout stream compared to many of the ones in the state. They just got some rain, you know. It's still going to be low and clear, but there's stuff moving. Okay, there's stuff moving. Most of the leaves, many of the leaves have fallen or come down, and will be in much better shape by this coming weekend. It's primarily a rainbow trout fishery. All right, so that's what you're trying to go fish for, although they stock browns in there too. So that's the kind of place you want to focus on in a weekend like this, okay? Head out over there to Highland and Bath County, fish the Jackson, fish the delayed harvest over there on Back Creek. Both of those are fishing really well. And those are the types of spots you want to hit up. The other types of places you want to hit up are going to be the Spring Creeks still. So Beaver Creek, if you can get the pass, Mossy Creek, Buffalo Creek, South River. All these places are going to be fishing a little bit better. If we keep getting rain, Mossy is going to be fishing much better in about a week or two. All right. Still haven't had any reports of those big boys coming off the spawn and being ready to eat yet, but I'm telling you, it's going to be any day now. Any day now, they're going to wrap up and they're going to be out there foraging and eating anything they can to kind of get caught back up on their weight. All right. So be on the lookout for that. Have your streamers ready to go. As far as flies go, we've got a ton of nymphs just came in. Pick your nymph size based on the water flow that's in front of you. If you're going to go to a place like Spring Run over at Coursey Springs where the water is, you know, only that deep and barely moving, you can't go throwing super heavy tungsten jigs in there. So you got to size down a little bit. Maybe not even a brass head fly. Maybe just a standard unweighted nymph. Okay, something that'll suspend and carry downstream. You go to some deeper water, like just over the border at Smoke Hole, where you've got spots even in low water where the water's 5, 6, 7, 8 feet deep. You're going to need your tungsten jig nymphs, okay, and size up a little bit so those things can get down there nice and quick and get in front of the fish. Remember, the whole goal is to ask the fish to swim as little as possible to get to your fly. So we're going to start winter process. You guys that follow this a lot, you hear me say this over and over again, but you got to grid the water out, okay? Grid the water out. Each cast, a foot to the left, a foot to the left, foot to the left, and then move up. All right, and that way you've been thorough and you've allowed every fish that was in that stream, or in that pool rather, to have a shot at your fly. All right. Same thing with your streamer fishing and your streamer fishing techniques. George was here dropping a lot of knowledge on streamer fishing and streamer fishing tactics this weekend. But one of the names of the game is to absolutely pay attention to your rate of retrieve, how fast you are stripping that fly, or how little you're stripping it. The slower you fish a streamer, the harder it is for you to detect a strike. But when it's cold and the barometer's got the fish down and they're not eating and they don't want to chase, you may be forced into a situation where you're fishing extremely slow. So you got to use the force. All right, you got to start figuring out how to detect strikes and pickups without ripping that thing to the water. Okay, everybody catches fish and detects strikes when you can just rip as fast as you want to, and they're just burning calories and happy to chase it down and yank on it real hard. Okay, but you got to be able to learn how to slow down and still detect that strike and be quick on the draw. All right, so lots of changes happening here. I'm sure it'll warm up several more times, but we are really getting close to just true winter fishing. Short days, cold water temps. I mean, with a couple nights here in the low 20s, the water temps are really going to start to plummet. Okay, The sun angle is low. I'm putting the kids on the bus in the morning when it's dark out. All right, so everybody needs to slow down, fish deeper, okay, and slow down your rate of retrieve, all that good stuff. Start picking up fish on days where they just aren't working too terribly hard. All right, fingers crossed for some more rain and some more water coming into the system. Be on the lookout for our next event. Okay, we're going to have all kinds of events going on this spring. We're going to be taking the Black Pearl, the mobile truck, out a whole bunch this upcoming year. So be looking for updates on that. We've got our sales that we always end up doing. For those of you who really pay attention, follow the newsletter. We've got all that stuff coming up near the Thanksgiving holiday, which is only a couple weeks away. So be ready for all that. Let us know if you guys need anything. If you're going out fishing this weekend and you want an update on some conditions right before you go this weekend, email us, or better yet, stop by the shop. We'll help you out. See you next week.